I'm creating a short video to show you how to create a new Mongo database, a new collection, and insert a record into that collection. And as you can see here, the assumption for this video is that Docker has already been installed and the Mongo container has already been created, which you can see right here. It's named MDB. It is a Mongo container. And both the container and the host machine are talking to each other on port 27017, which is the default port for a Mongo server. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this. You'll notice it is now green. It tells me it's running. And then over here in my terminal window, which I have opened, I am going to go ahead and put in the command that will start the interaction between my terminal window and the Mongo container. And you can see that I am now in the Mongo shell talking to the Mongo server. All right, so what I want to do first of all is create my database. All right, so in Mongo, if we say use, and then we give it the name of the database, this will do one of two things. If this database already exists, it will simply switch to it. If the database does not exist, it will create it and then switch to it. So you'll notice that we have now switched to DB, and please pay attention to DB, that's important in Mongo, and family. And then, while there should not be any collections here, I am going to ask it to show me any collections that might exist, and again it comes back empty. So let's create a collection. So remember I said pay attention to the DB, that's important. That indicates to Mongo, hey, we're talking to you since we're in the Mongo shell. And then we are going to go ahead and say create collection, and then we have to give it the name. So since I've got a database name family, well, I'm going to have a collection called members. And hit enter. There it is. So that collection has now been created. And I am going to go ahead and put my first family member into this collection. So db.members, that's the name of my collection, insert 1, and then this is a function. So just as I did when I created my collection above, I have my left and right parentheses, but in this case I want to get rid of that parenthesis, and instead I'm going to put in a member, which is an object. So I use a left curly brace, and when I'm done with this I will close it with a right curly brace, but I'm not done yet. All right, so notice that when I hit enter, the three dots on the left indicate that I'm in a continuation mode, meaning I am inserting data. So I am going to speed this process up just a little bit so that you don't have to watch me doing all of this typing. All right, so let's go through this. So in a Mongo collection, we have name value pairs, and so the first name is first name. The value associated with that is Tony, and we then follow it up with a comma. Notice Tony is a string, and so it is inside of quotes. The second name value pair is last name is Bennett. The third name value pair is DOB, meaning date of birth. And again, I've put in a date here. This is not Tony Bennett's actual birth date. It's just something that I've made up. Tony's profession is a singer. Now, Tony has been very talented and has earned many awards. But what I want to do here is not just list out the name of the award. I want to list out the name of the award and how many of each award he has earned. So you'll notice, because I have multiple values associated with awards, I have a left bracket. Down here, I close it with a right bracket, and inside of this array of information, I have three sub-objects. So Tony has earned 6 Grammy Awards, he has earned 1 Oscar Award, and he has earned 1 Pulitzer Prize Award. So that array shows 3 different types of awards and how many of each he has earned, and then we have a comma to separate it. Finally, Tony has some hobbies. Now you'll notice in this array, again, left square bracket, right square bracket, there are no name value pairs. These are just values, and so there is no need for the sub-objects. In this case, they're just different elements of the array. So he loves to compose, he loves to write, he loves to garden, and he loves to run. All right, so that's all of the information about this first member of my family. So now what I do is I put in the the right curly brace that closes Tony's object, and then I close the parenthesis, meaning the insert one function, and when I hit enter, now Tony's information exists, and here is the automatically created by Mongo ID. And so you'll notice the IDs are fairly long, but that's okay. It's meant to ensure being unique. And so at this point, I'm just going to see if, in fact, I can see Tony. So db.members.find. There's no arguments here. I simply hit enter, and here is my object. So here's the ID. Notice underscore ID. The object's ID is that, and then we have all of our first name, last names, and then we get down to awards. There's my array, and I've got 3 sub-objects in that array. Then I've got hobbies, and then I get a list of hobbies. So that is pretty simple, how to start up a database, how to get into the Mongo shell, how to create a new database, how to create a new collection, and how to insert a record into the collection, and then how to see the records that exist in the collection. I hope that you'll find this video helpful.